Paranormal Karen, she's so spooky. Paranormal Karen, funny too. Paranormal Karen, she's so spooky. Oh, and did I mention she's funny too? Yeah, cha-cha-cha.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Paranormal Karen. It is October 3rd, I'm pretty sure. We're taping this all the way in June because I'm getting my year ahead. So excited about today's episode. But before we do that, it is October 3rd. I hope you're coming to see me tonight in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Tickets are on my website. Or you could see me next week in Pittman, New Jersey, or Mewis, New Jersey. I know I said that wrong. I will be at, where else am I going to be? Stir Crazy in Phoenix, October 24th and 25th. And then Brad Garrett's Club, the 27th through the 2nd. Though the Brad Garrett's Club is the only one that's not a stand-up show. And then I think that's it for now. Oh, I'll see you in Dayton on November 7th. Okay, too much. Go to my website. I actually have all my stuff up and I'm working hard, folks. Join the Patreon, whatever. All right, let's get to today's guest. Today is a woman who knows my pain. Deana Olivella. Olivella. You knew I was going to do it wrong because I was looking at it.
You got it.
Deana lives, probably not when this is coming out, or maybe in Utica, New York. And you know my pain, don't you?
Oh, I know it.
Did you grow up here?
I did.
Oh.
I haven't left yet, but
you're on your way.
It's time. Yes. Yes. So it's yes, I feel your pain. I see it. I hear it.
And I just want to say a couple of things because folks, first of all, you gave the best massage Reiki healing sessions ever. That's number one. And then number two, what we're really going to get talking about is your breathwork classes. And there's so much more to them. We're going to talk about rape and all the things. I just went to one and it was phenomenal, top to bottom. So first, let's start, my friend. How did you go from being a Utican, which without a drinking problem? No, how did you go from being a Utican to a metaphysical person? What was your path?
Oh boy. Well, thank you for having me on. I'm so excited, first of all.
I know I asked you years ago and then you were like, no, I don't think so. And now we're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I was born here, been here 45 years. And I actually went to college here for accounting, which is my day job. But yeah, right. About 13 years ago, I was an accountant for the government, and I was very into bodybuilding, and I was just like, I just always had this hit that I wanted to do massage, and always looking at the schools, and it's about 45 minutes away in Syracuse. So how do I, drive there every day with children and all that? So they were little at the time. And then one day I was just like, you know what? 6 months, I'll see if I can get a leave of absence to do this because I really feel called. And so I talked to my boss and she said no.
Oh.
So I said, okay, well, I'm going to do that anyway. So here's my notice. Yeah. So a month later, I did my massage school. 6 months later, I was done. Then it was waiting for the license and, all of that and getting the job. And I ended up back in corporate America, but also doing massage on the weekends.
Now, when I met you, did I meet you just on the tail end of that? Did I meet did you already have your massage license when I moved here 4 years ago?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay.
I've 12 years. It just passed.
Okay.
That I've been.
And
so, yeah. But in massage school is where I learned about chakras and about energy and all of these things that I had no idea that all of this magic through energy even existed. So I was very intrigued at that time. And as soon as I was done with massage school, I went and got my first Reiki attunement and started playing around with that as well.
And by the time I got to your table, you had like all kinds of stuff going on or under your belt. Like it's more,
Oh,
there's a whole bunch more there. Am I correct?
oh, that's why I call my website all the things. I don't know what to call myself anymore. I keep changing my name on Instagram of what I encompass, and it's like, well, I don't like that. Well, people are, I had tantra in the title for a little bit, and I was getting all of the truckers texting me,
Uh,
what's tantra massage? And I'm just like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. So I believe it's something like a somatic energy alchemist, or who knows? It'll probably be different by the time October comes. So,
well,
yeah.
yes. Well, you know what, too? That's funny because both you and I don't know if this is a Utica thing or not. We both go to someone called Susan that I call her a shaman, but I say, but not really a shaman because she's like, no, you have to earn that title with lifetimes and years and da da da. So I feel like there's a lot of healers in Utica, but nobody knows how to describe themselves, kind of, right?
Yes, and that's part of it is we take all of the things that we learn and pick up and train for, and then we turn it into something of our own that it really doesn't just fit into the box of Reiki master or massage therapist. I don't even like to use massage therapist anymore because I'm more into doing the energy work. Craniosacral therapy is a big one for me now, which is all somatic release tied to that. So yeah, it's hard to call ourselves anything. We're all just doing such abstract, offerings for the
Hmm.
community, and then things will just, come awaken inside us during our practices. It's like, oh wow, I didn't realize that I can do that either, and this is causing a different response that, I wasn't expecting. That seems to be hitting well with our
Yes.
visitors. So
And I have to
it's
say,
great.
I know this isn't a big part of it, but you added the giant singing bowls, which are my favorite thing in the whole wide world.
Aren't they amazing?
Oh my
Um,
god. And your little room is perfect. Perfect.
I love my room.
Yes, and also, I think you took some, classes from, Amy Spicer as well, correct?
Oh yes, I did. When I first, well, COVID hit, and then because like I said, I have a corporate job as well. When COVID hit, I started working from home every day, and then I got really into crystals and listening to Jessa and you and Amy was on the shows, and then uh, I started booking sessions with her and doing mentorship with her, and that really helped me to bring my business back on the healing side. So I owe a lot of that to her and her encouragement. And, she was like, well, maybe you should do house calls. So I think I did one. I came back, I threw my table in my Jeep Wrangler, which was terrifying, and dragged it out, and I was like, you know what, I'm building a room in my house. I can't do this again.
Yeah, that's
uh,
my friend does that and lugging that table around. I had one in my apartment for when I was doing Reiki. I don't know. I bought it from a lady. It was so funny. She was a really rich lady and she goes, yeah, it's just I think she sold it to me for $50 and she's like, yeah, it's just been here for 2 years. My husband bought it. I don't know if he thought we were going to stand around and massage each other or what.
well, that's a good deal for you. That's a great price.
Yeah, it was, and it was a nice table, and it lasted me, as long as I needed it to. But
Love that.
yes, and then also, it's kind of the interesting thing about healing, and I feel like there's something going on now, but I feel like you just especially in this industry, you're kind of never done. You're always like, well, what's that? Maybe I'll learn about that, or who's teaching that, and it's just like adding
Yes.
to like a giant book of information.
Yes, yes. Yes, you've had Sally on for the breath work.
Yep.
And she's great. And then it was like, well, I want to do breath. I had done breath work with someone else before she came into the picture. And that just, took my breath away from, no pun intended there. But, um, so I started studying that too. And that is just like my favorite offering now of all is the breath work.
Yes, and also, everybody does things just a little bit different. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, and it makes it its own thing. So now let's talk about your breath work workshop that I was just at, which was phenomenal. And the three things I want to talk about, and we obviously not all in this one, but ayahuasca, breath work, and rape. So let's start with the breath work. So did you train for that? Did you go to a school or a class or something?
I did some training with David Elliott's teachings online, which is actually a different type of breath work. But this one, I'm also a Vinyasa yoga certified instructor, and I'm also in the process of getting my Kundalini teacher certification. So with that, we're learning so many different varieties of breath work as well. So actually, I took this type of breath work right after I assisted with a Bufo ceremony, which was amazing. So it was like I was still in that medicine, and then I did this type of breath work.
Okay, so
And
I'm going to go.
it was amazing.
So Bufo, that's the frogs, right?
That's the toad, yes.
The toad. Do you have to have the toad there, or no? Somebody bring something.
No. They stay in the desert.
Okay.
They don't come visit.
Okay. So breaking down to three things. How breath work is about what is for people that don't know and are like, I don't know what that, I don't waste my money on that. It's about the amount of carbon dioxide you're putting out or oxygen you're taking in. What is the basic thing there?
Yes, and depending on the type that you're doing. I mean, one it's just helps your mind relax, your body relax and all of that. But then based on the type of breath work you're doing, the vigor behind it, it will alter the CO2 to O2 ratio and change your pH. It'll elevate your pH, affecting the amount of oxygen delivered to your brain. And then in that state, could feel like an out of body experience, maybe the onset of like a psychedelic effect, but we're not. So my breath work, I call it a shamanic breath work ceremony. Some people call it psychedelic breath work. I've seen that on different, vacations that I've been on.
Yep.
But there is no medicine administered in this ceremony whatsoever. It's all done. So I read somewhere like your body is its own pharmacy with this type of breath work. So yeah, by manipulating your O2 distribution, you're going to release adrenaline, endorphins, possibly DMT. I don't think there's, it's been proven, but that's, if you listen to like Dr. Joe Dispenza and people like that, there's so much science behind how this actually works.
Yeah.
That it's very, it's really happening. You can really just put yourself in this state very quickly too. I mean, how long did it take you? Some people go into it like immediately, like, the studio owner and then our buddy next to you there, Shalane, they go into it very quickly. And if the DMT is being released, it could be coming from your lungs, your pineal gland. It will affect your brain waves, like the theta waves, the gamma waves. Those are going to put you in a deep meditative state, maybe feel dreamlike, maybe give you like that non-dual feeling, a mystical experience. Your perception could be heightened. Your third eye is going to be open. All of these different things. Your ego will soften. Allowing subconscious to kind of take the front seat for a little bit.
And also, it's because I had done it before, because it's really weird because you kind of almost have to trust. And I don't know that anyone trusts it right away. Not like in a way like something bad's going to happen, but in the beginning, you're really like, is this going to do anything? And then once you get it, you go to the next one and you drop right in.
Yes.
That's what I feel like. Yeah. Yeah. And how is Kundalini different? Is it just a different way of doing it?
Well, with Kundalini, we're normally sitting up and it's just one section of a whole Kundalini practice. But we'll start with the pranayama. And again, it's all different types of breath that are being brought in to help you get into that meditative state where, again, you're kind of relying on what's going on in your third eye and bringing you into that state of samadhi where you're just one,
Yeah, that
being that
Kundalini.
energy.
Yeah, I've done
Love it.
Yeah, Kundalini. That's a very intense training, isn't it?
Yes, we're there 9 hours on the weekend once a month. So we're taking naps and I'm going home, falling right to sleep because it's great.
So,
I
are you
love it.
guys
I love
doing
it.
that kind of breathing for 9 hours?
Oh no, we're not doing shamanic breath work. We might do breath of fire. We might do a long, deep breath. Um, kind of, you might do one where your tongue's rolled and sticking out, or like very, very silly things they feel like, but you can tell, how each one is different and what it's used for. If you do alternate nostril breathing, that's to help balance your masculine and your feminine side.
I do that all the time. Like, also,
Yeah,
it
and
works for panic attacks and stuff too.
yes, or I think I told you if mom's being a little silly, plug her right nostril and let her breathe out of her left, and she'll calm down a little.
Yeah,
Let the feminine side take over.
I did take only one. I think only one Kundalini class, and it was very intense, but it was all breathing. It was all, I can't remember what, it was many, 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 many years ago. But yes, and also sometimes they make you stare into someone else's eyes for like an hour. Have you ever done that?
Shataka.
Is that what
I
that
never,
is?
not for an hour. Yes, that's what it's called. Not that, or if you're staring into a candle, kind of the same thing. I have not done that for an hour. I've done it for shorter periods of time, but yes, that's amazing too. There's so many ways to tap into things that you're storing, help to
Mhm.
kind of, illuminate the shadows,
Phew. It's a
become vulnerable so that you can, start to go
Mhm.
through a process. And I love all of it. Like, I can't get enough.
Well, once you sort of like I said, once you sort of retire into it, and also don't stop. I've been away from like ayahuasca and stuff for a while now, and also where I live is just so weird. That I know I'm trying to keep things to a minimum. But once you learn how to kind of relax into it, it's all fun and interesting.
Isn't it? Did
Yes.
1 minute you're laughing, 1 minute you're crying.
Mhm.
Sometimes people are connecting with the cosmos or, higher self guides.
Yes.
One time I taught this and, people were like, wow, I would think I could have had an orgasm, or there's, just tears flowing and it's not
Mhm.
even like a cry. I get that a lot in my purge, yawning, screaming. We always do screaming. I think that's so great.
Mhm. Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna take a break right here, and we will be right back with Dina. Hey, everybody. After the Lori Bell episode, a bunch of you guys reached out and said, Karen, where are you getting mushrooms legally online? So I reached out to the company and I said, hey, would you guys like an ad on my podcast? And they said, hey, would you like to be an affiliate? And that was the day I learned what an affiliate was. So I am now an affiliate for mycholine.com. Folks, these are the real deal. This is not on Instagram or places where you see, hey, there's some lion's mane and you might feel better and you might not. These are real mushrooms, and they come in a liquid concentrate form with 4 great flavors. Blue raspberry is my favorite. If you are microdose curious, this is a fabulous way to give it a shot. They come with wonderful instructions. 1 to 4 squirts is microdosing or just relaxing. 5 to 8 is a little more of that party feeling. If you're out partying with people and they're all drinking, that's kind of where you want to be. And 8 and above does its thing. I I am perfectly happy with 5 or 6. I haven't gone to 8, but I've read the reviews and people are very, very happy. So you want to go to mycolean.com, MyColean, and you're going to use coupon code Karen 71367. All one word, all capital letters, Karen 71367 for a 10% discount. Go get some mushrooms, enjoy, and send me an email and let me know how you like it. Okay, so you know I'm working on a comedy special. This wasn't you, but I went to it was the first time I did rape, and I didn't know that they were doing it. What were the two? Sangria, rape, and
Not sangria, sananga.
Sananga. You were there. Colleen was there. I didn't know about those until I came to Utica, and I once again did rape before your breathing thing that was so great. Now tell everybody what rape is.
Okay, so rape, or sometimes they call it hape, is from Brazil, at least the blends that I've worked with. And what it is, it's a ground up tobacco snuff, and then they'll put other spirits in there as well. So maybe we'll have a blend that has some ground up ayahuasca in it, or it's another one, bay leaf, clove, just depending on rose is a big one that we work with. And then I think that day I brought ayahuasca blend. I brought a passiflora blend, and then Colleen provided us with her propolis blend, which is amazing for immune support. We could talk about propolis all day.
Wow.
Anyways, so with that, you're not snoring it like our fellow Coca there. It's actually I'll put it into a pipe called a tepe, or you can do it yourself with a caripe. And then I will blow it into your nose, and then you'll hold it there, not swallowing, nothing like that, and then do some very slow breaths through your mouth.
And
I've had it different ways, but I like it best with the breathing through the mouth.
So it goes up your nose and it burns. It not to lie, it burns. And then is it penetrates the brain barrier or what? Because, and also I thought that only lasted a short amount of time. Mine lasted like at least a half an hour, if not more. I thought I was never going to get out of it. How long is that supposed to last?
It can last a little bit.
Oh.
I've had times where it hasn't lasted as long. It could have been the amount that was taken, or say, we don't advise to eat before that because it can make you nauseous. I've had it where I've gotten to that point before. Every time is different. Colleen's given me some San Pedro rape before, and oh boy, I was so sick. But that's the purge. You never know what the medicine's going to bring, but it always gives you what you need.
Right. And so you do the rape and then you want to meditate or see what happens, or what is that experience for you?
For me, I feel very grounded, but I also feel like I'm connecting with the divine at the same time. So it's a very like you're neutral, but you're not here.
And
at least for me, how did it feel for you?
Well, the thing was, first of all, I'm like whenever someone says you need one tablet, that means I need a half a tablet. So everything works on me extreme. And I think that's since I went vegan or started eating better, or my system is very clean and it like grabs everything. I got very stuck on, because I don't quite remember the first time we did it, because that was a while ago. That was a different a guy was leading that ceremony. So
that was probably 2 years ago.
Yes, and so when I did it with you, I was like, "Am I doing this? Am I not doing this?" I don't and I did it, but it was not I wouldn't say it was grounding, but it was an intense, feeling in the body. Like, I feel like and this has happened with ayahuasca too. I feel like something moves through me and does whatever it's doing. I don't get, like, visions or anything like that, but it definitely kind of, it must have purged something. It must have purged energetically something. So I was actually a little late on the breathing because I was sort of like in that space. And I like I said, it surprised me how it felt. And then by the time it sort of like wore off just a little bit, I fell right into the breathing. So it ended up being like a perfect combination. But at first I was a little distracted by it. But I was wondering, like, when you do it, because you do it alone sometimes too, right?
Yes.
Do you meditate? Do you clean your house? What do you do when you do it?
Oh, sometimes I will have it before cacao. Now I have this Jaguar blend. Every time I work with it, I like shapeshift into the Jaguar and
Ah,
I'm, on all fours and growling and screaming. And I don't know, one just wakes up something inside me. There's other times where I'm just there and I'm just in a daze for a little bit and I can feel, like you mentioned, every chakra opening all the way up and your crown just like feeling like
mhm.
it's just so like expanded or blown right open almost. So yeah, I mean, every blend is going to give you something different too.
Wow, that's fascinating. And that's
And we
your
have so many.
yeah, and that's kind of your I only did one side too,
Yes.
and that was very interesting because I do the left side? I think I did
You
do the
did
left side.
we started with masculine. So it was
Okay.
the right.
Okay, maybe that was good. I keep remembering this year, chipped a tooth on the left side, pulled a muscle on the left ovary has a cyst, that little polyp on my rectum was on the everything was on the left side. So
Mm.
if we did the correct side to get rid of some other stuff instead of being so like controlling. And this is legal, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I brought it on planes. We can have it shipped here, no problem. Because it's not like smokable like a tobacco. Tobacco is a little harder to get shipped, but um, yeah, no,
Wow, that's interesting. When we did it 2 years ago, what was the other thing we did? What was eye drops, right?
the Sananga.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's bark from a tree and then it's ground up and then it's soaked um to extract the medicine from that. And with that, that goes in the eyes and yes, that burns. Um and again, you're it, it just takes you somewhere. Your
Mhm.
mind can't think about anything but processing that pain and working through it. And it's very clearing. It's very, helps you release blockages. Now, one time I did it and I was, trying to be very strong and composed. And I went into that psychedelic state with my breathing. I was like, I thought the floor was vibrating and everything was vibrating. And I was very very elevated and it was amazing. But yeah, that one's a little harder to administer to myself, and the shelf life on it once you open it is very short. So
Mhm.
unless you're going to use it like a lot, I had to toss my last batch. Well, I gave it to the earth, but
Right. Right. And also, you go to Costa Rica to ayahuasca retreats, correct?
I've been to one in Costa Rica. That was my first one. That was about 2.5 years ago. And then I've been to two more, which were in different parts of Peru.
And well, which one do you like better, Peru or Costa Rica?
Oh, I think I like being in Costa Rica better.
Mhm.
That's why I'm going to live there.
Yep, you bought a
But
house there, right?
yes, I did. It's amazing. But yeah, so my first one, I was just being called by Machu Picchu. So I went and sat in the Sacred Valley with some people that I knew, firsthand were great to work with. They were actually just on the Danny Morel podcast, um, discussing all of the things to watch out for in
in the fake places.
in different offerings, to be safe and do your homework first, basically. So a lot of people just, oh, here it is, I'm going to go, when you don't really know what you're getting into. And sometimes they don't care. But, these people are great. So I went to the Sacred Valley. I met some amazing people that are, have had such an impact on my life since then. That was almost 2 years ago. And then I was like, all right, I think I'm ready to really, because those were both like 5-star retreats. So we were pampered and, cushy and all of that. And then I was like, I think I'm ready for a little suffering with it. So I'm going to the Amazon. So this last one I went to in November was, you have to take the water taxi to get to the jungle. And, you're out there with the mosquitoes and the red ants and, maybe the jaguars and all of that. And that was, no service most of the time.
Well, I have
electricity.
Wow. I have to say one thing. I do have a friend that did ayahuasca in Colombia, and she suddenly was in love with one of the guys that puts on the thing, and then they became a couple, and then it fell apart. And then she realized he was the one that programmed the ayahuasca. And she was sort of like he kind of hijacked her. And
Wow.
so that's like how you really do have to be careful, because then one day she was like, what was I thinking? I was going to move to the Colombian jungle or what? It was quite a thing. So in this one, the what is that you sign? The disclosure or the thing that says you can't sue them. That must be huge. Waiver. Is the waiver huge? Oh my God.
It just outlines a lot of things. If you're not upfront about the medications that you're on, or if you have any mental health disorders, like that could be extremely contraindicated, especially if you're taking like an MAOI. You don't want to do that because there's the same type of compounds in ayahuasca. And now you're just compounding that. You can't. It's not safe. So yeah, they really, a lot of times I'll leave things out when I know I'm going to like a regular doctor appointment. But with this one, I was so thorough and so elaborate on every single thing because I just wanted to make sure that they made me as safe as possible. And also part of preparing for the dieta, that's what they call it when you diet with your plant. You have to abstain from a lot of things like, pork, red meat, salt, caffeine, sex, a lot of the medicines that you're taking, supplements, all of that, they ask you to not be on it. So, you really have to be honest. If you're on something and you're coming off of it, they may need to do that like a taper and postpone when you come. Not, say, oh, I was supposed to come in February, but now I need to taper this med. They're going to make me come in April. So it's really important that you're completely honest and upfront about everything because you want to have the best experience and you want to come back safely.
Yeah, we did it at my house once, and I'll never forget because it was, I mean, I don't eat meat. So, and most of the stuff I don't eat on the list. And one girl was like, oh, I had a hot dog yesterday. And my friend that was running it was like, didn't you? She's like, oh, I just had a little. She was so sick. She was so sick. Yeah, you got to take it seriously.
Yeah.
So, but also the mosquitoes and the ants, like, did you get bit up? Was that a problem? What happened?
When I first went to like a hotel when they were picking us up the next day, and it was so nice. Like I would totally recommend if you ever go to Pucallpa, I'll tell you where to stay. But I'm just wandering around in my flip flops, and I'm standing there talking to the maestros had come to visit, and the girl and her boyfriend that I had met there to sit with. And they're like, you're standing in ants. And I look down and there's like red ants biting my toes. They were lodged into my sandals after I was picking them out. Boy, that hurt. And, it was tingly for a while, but luckily I'm pretty resilient. So I didn't have any bad reactions or anything. But yeah, that was, after that, I was pretty vigilant about where I was walking. But yeah, they were like right outside my casita when we got to the jungle. I'd have to hop over them and make sure I didn't have any on my shoes when I went in. And
Wow. And the mosquitoes, you could get malaria or something, right? Or no?
We didn't have to get any vaccines or anything to go over there. They just, they're relentless. We're in 90-degree heat most of the time. And I don't know. I'm a mosquito magnet,
Me
even in my
too.
house here. I live in the woods here. And boy, they just get me. They love me.
Mhm.
So yeah, we were wearing like the nets you can buy and they just didn't care. And then I make my own body butters. So I made one with like the citronella and all of the insect repellent in it, which I call fuck off. And yes, that's the blend. And it would work for a little bit. And then it'd be like, all right, it's not working anymore. So now every time I smell it, I think of the jungle.
Wow. So if you're doing ayahuasca, you're not really noticing if you are getting bit, are you?
Well, we go inside to a maloka when we have ceremony. So we're not outside on the ground, laying there and drinking out in the open.
Okay.
There's like screens and a door and stuff like that. So yeah, we're not worried about that or, any wildlife coming over to bite us or anything like
I
that.
am more worried about the wildlife than the ayahuasca. Did you see any wildlife? Were there panthers or jaguars or whatever?
We did not see any panthers or any jaguars. I think we saw a snake. It was not an anaconda, but they can pop up. We were told. It was mostly there was chickens there I think to lay the eggs and stuff. But yeah, no, it was mostly just a lot of birds. So it was fun to listen to them because they're different birds than we hear here in upstate. So yeah, nothing crazy this time.
All right. Okay, we're going to take a break and come back, and then I want to hear about what happened with the ayahuasca. All right, folks, we'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. Do you love everything paranormal, supernatural, or otherwise spiritual?
Well, of course you do. You're listening to Paranormal Karen.
If you like some humor sprinkled into your morning commute or wherever you listen to your podcast, we don't judge. We've got the most fantastic paranormal podcast for you.
I'm Dana.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Megan. We'd love for you to join us at Supernormal on YouTube or wherever else you get your podcast fix.
Trust us, it's weird, it's wild, and a whole lot of fun.
I'm not weird, you're weird.
Okay, so what have you had any particular experiences with the ayahuasca that was life-changing or that one? Because I know it all is, but you're doing this all the time now, so it might be different for you.
All the time.
All the stuff, I do my kava all the time. Not the same thing, but you know what I mean? Kava.
You do kava. Oh, kava. Okay, I thought you said combo. That's the frog.
Nope.
Okay, life changing. So my first ceremony, I felt very blocked. So it was like, I was trying to get stuff and I wasn't really getting anything. And this one was in Costa Rica. My first, venture into this medicine, didn't really know what to expect. I mean, I've worked with psychedelics before, so I kind of thought that's what was going to happen, but no, it wasn't anything like, a mushroom or an LSD or anything like that. So, I talked to the lady and she's like, something's blocking you, think about it all day. We were going back into ceremony that next night. And something broke and, that came to me after the fact. So yeah, once ceremony's over, it's not like the ayahuasca's done. It's going to go on like forever. And my diet also included bobensana, which is a heart opener. It helps to process like loss and grief and, all the things that are like make your heart sad.
And what is that you said? Bobensana?
Bobensana.
What is that? Is that
It's a beautiful, it's on my Instagram. It's a beautiful tree. And then it blooms these pink feathery flowers. It's so lovely.
And you drink it as a tea? You eat the flower? What happens?
Oh no, they'll put that in like an extract. So I don't know if they're soaking it in alcohol and then we're drinking, we do it like a shot kind of.
Okay.
But one at a time we come up. It's very ceremonial, but they'll just put it in a shot glass and you drink that. And that was a little bit earlier. And then we would drink the ayahuasca a little bit later.
Wow. And so you finally have this break, and what happens?
Yeah. So that second ceremony, it was like something just cracked open in me. I was like bursting with so much love and like gratitude and hugging myself. And like my eyes were pouring these like tears of bliss and love and just so much. I was just over the top. Just on another, and again, it wasn't like I was seeing visuals or anything like that. I mean, I honestly, I wrote a diary on that first retreat, which I published into a book. So luckily everything I wrote so much, like a book's worth. And, going back and reading it, it's like, wow, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. So I highly encourage when you do these things, and I even tell you in breath work, like journal after, because you're getting so much information that you're going to want to go back and when you need to remember, when you're in a rut, like, oh yeah, I forgot I need to do this work.
Right.
And all of these things that were monumental moments in your growth and your evolution and your ascension that we want to pay, give thanks to all of that.
Yes, and how many nights do you do? Because I have to tell you, when we did it at my house, one was enough, and my feet weren't back on the ground for a couple days.
Yeah. So the whole retreat is usually about a week, and then we'll drink 4 nights of that, whether they do it every other. Some will do 2 on, 1 on, and then take a day off and then do 2 more. It all depends how they want to set up the retreat. And then you can go on longer ones where they'll, maybe do 7 ceremonies or, or stay there for months if you want. I know people that have, never didn't want to come back for a while. They weren't done with the work.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of up to you and the retreat center if they think that, you're needing to stay and you want to. But yeah, I've had 4 on all of mine so far.
So when they talk to you about like what the final result is, because I don't know that I know what, like, everybody comes home feeling better, doing better, this and that. Are you setting an intention first or something like that? How do you, like you said, they might think you should stay there longer. What is the end result?
So yeah, I mean, before we go in, we're having calls with the group to kind of, you know, set us up to say, all right, what are you going into this work for? What is your intentions for this? What do you want to work through? What do you hope to accomplish? Whatever. And then when you get there, maybe it's changed a little bit. Maybe, I'm sure that what I went there with and then what I got there with and then what I left with, it just changed so much. But yeah, and then again, it's the medicine gives you what you need. It doesn't always give you what you want. So if I went in there with the intention to, heal this one section of my trauma or to learn more about something, a lot of mine has been around, back pain in my life and in generations of my family. And I wasn't we didn't get into that, but we were doing all of this other work on all of these things that I didn't really, feel were important maybe, or they never came to the surface. So again, it's just like, all right, we're just going to peel these layers. We're not to the one that you want to work on yet. Be patient. And yeah, so by the time I left, it's like, wow, I have so much to process, so much that I've learned that, yeah, I mean, I didn't feel like I needed to stay.
Yeah. Well,
Because,
it is a lot.
oh, yeah. And like I said, things just keep coming after the fact.
And it's a lot to try and go home and be in the regular world.
It is.
Yes.
I mean, one, you're in beautiful, secluded surroundings. You have no responsibilities. Somebody's cooking for you, taking care of you. There's like nothing at all in the world that you have to do. And then you get back home and it's like, all right, first of all, you're landing in the snow, in the cold, and driving home in a blizzard, if you even make it home. Seriously. And, then the next thing you know, it's like everybody, the only person that's changed is you. Everybody else has stayed the same. So it's very hard to come back into an environment where they don't understand.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if they really care. I mean, maybe a little bit. You probably get a lot of hate comments when I say that, but if you can't understand, you can't possibly relate and nurture and hold space for somebody that's going through that. And then it's
And
just,
yes, that's a great point about everything. I know this is a weird segue into it, but Madonna once said to Rosie O'Donnell, when you get famous, people always say you change, but they change. Or they,
mm,
like they don't, when we grow, we shed people. It's like they have to step up. And that's not even a bad thing. Like I outgrew someone, you can grow sideways and just suddenly be. I have a couple of friendships now where I'm like, this just doesn't fit anymore. And
yeah.
yeah. So you're right. It is hard when you come home and nobody else gets it.
That and it's depressing and you're back to okay, I'm ordering my groceries in the airport on the way home because we're back to that now. And
Mhm.
oh my god, and it's like okay, you feel guilty. You've been gone for 9 or 10 days total because you attribute 2 days of traveling all in itself. Now they've done these favors for you, watched the children, taken care of the house, been without you, being there to do, your wife or partner duties, daughter duties, whatever it is. So they're already feeling like I gave you enough. Now you want
Mhm.
space. Now you want to be left alone to, be in your thoughts and figure this out and integrate. No, you've already taken enough from me. And I don't, I was very sad when I got back from the first one. I was very like in shock with the way that I was being treated. And it was nothing that wasn't different for them.
Right.
But again, I was different and it was hitting me differently.
Yep. Yeah, not good or bad, just kind of normal. And, the amount of time, like today is my house cleaning day. And I keep thinking about the amount of time that is just in this life that is nothing.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like, why I'm cleaning
cleaning.
it, then I'm going to have to clean it next week. Like, there's so much stuff that is just like,
I know.
your life is spent on tedious things. That's why, I love you doing all this because when people have jobs they hate, can you even calculate how much time, percentage of their life has spent in a place they don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Yeah. And the medicine, when I first went into the medicine 2.5 years, I was just so resentful for my day job and I hated it. And every, counseling person that I would talk to and work with, and that's all I would do. I hate my job. I hate my job. And then I don't know, just working through the medicine and then seeing how I can bring all of the good that's come out of all of the work that I've done into the workplace.
Mhm.
And it just like it shifted something there. Now, like now I don't want to leave my job. Now I, love what I do and being with the people and having
Mhm.
that, that dual role in my life, that dual purpose that it's very, I wasn't expecting that at all. Like I was expecting that one day I was just gonna be like, I'm done. Bye. And now it's like I don't want to
Well,
go.
though, I mean, I have been doing sort of comedy and tarot for so many years, but some people just doing the woo woo is not for them. Like it's a way out of balance. And sometimes I know people that have to go. In fact, I think the universe this year made a lot of people go back to. I knew a lot of psychics that suddenly had to get a day job, and even if it was just for a little while or just for a minute, there was something about it. Like almost the message was, you have to be in both worlds. It's not. Don't step into just one. I'm pretty ungrounded. Well, I guess comedy makes me grounded. But yeah, it can sometimes the balance is great.
It is. And I'm able to, trickle in some breadcrumbs of my world into theirs and open their eyes to the thing. They've witnessed how much my life has changed and who I am and the way that I show up for them. so much that they're like, oh, maybe she's onto something. Maybe now they're buying me crystals, and they let me walk around with my sound bowls, and once I started a meeting with a like mini ceremony and pulling oracle cards and stuff. But it's like, I try to bring that into my workplace because I think that they need it too. And I think that's one of the things that I'm here for, is to kind of, because I'm a Sag, I'm always like leading the rebellion and, showing people the way and being the guinea pig for things. And then it's like, okay, she's doing good. Let me just kind of follow her and take what, resonates with me from what she's doing and grow in my own way. So, I hate to, that sounds kind of, in my ego, but
no, I agree with it.
I sit with my guides, and it's like, no, you're here to help these people, as their veils lift. So that's kind of why I try to stay in the matrix a little bit, because I've got to help them get out of there.
Yeah. Well,
me, please.
Yes. Well, I think when, like, I've never had the experience of people every once in a while someone will make a silly comment about me being in the paranormal or the tarot or something, and it shocks me because when you do something with confidence, because it's your thing, it's like the psychic stand-up show, that's all me, that can't really be replicated unless you're going to, you know what I mean? Like, this is my whole life.
You're one of a kind.
I'm one of, well, and
I love it.
There are others that do it, but I now have 35 years of both under my belt, so it's a little different. And there are other ones coming up. But yes, thank you. For people that dabble, this isn't going to work. You got to be it. It's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I can see you, like, kind of not, I don't want to say not caring what people think, but kind of like, yeah, this is how I do it. And just the confidence and knowledge of what you're doing pulls other people in.
Yeah, I think so. I've given up trying to, make myself small or be something that I'm not. I just don't care. Like, if you don't like it, then you can go, but I can't be uncomfortable because you're uncomfortable.
Yeah. And
that's your shit. And that's just another piece of what I'm here for. I'm here to make people uncomfortable so that they start to face their own shadows and, realize that there is another way to get through life that doesn't require, medication or just being a hater forever and living in self-pity. Like, you can actually turn your life around, but just figuring out what is triggering you, what are you holding on to, and let it go.
Mm-hmm. And also, it seems like it was kind of the catalyst for you to get out of Utica or balance it out, half there, half Costa Rica. And people don't realize how much courage it takes to do what you want to do.
I guess I don't either.
It sounds so simple, but listen, when I moved here 4 years ago, I mean, you were even married at that time. And if I had said to you, in fact, I think we did talk about moving with you, but if I had said, go buy a house in Costa Rica, that you can hear when someone's head is like, but I don't know where the money is, and I don't know where blah, 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 and my kid, blah, blah, blah. And the list comes up and that dream just goes away. But then when the time comes and you can, and you were just like you just came home and were like, I just bought a house in Costa Rica. Like, you weren't like, it was just, again, the courage to do what you want to do. Without all of the, well, now I got to pack stuff, or I got to blah, blah. That's the most beautiful lesson of all.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited. And again, it all was orchestrated by people that I have met, being pulled into retreats or different, workshops, events, any of the work that I've done. Because, when I came home from the first one and wanted to move there, I was trying so hard to get realtors to help me and work with me. And again, it was very hard to get money to buy a house. And 2 years ago. And then, I was kind of like, all right, I'll just wait for things to happen on their own timeline. And then I was meeting the people. I was having the conversations that were leading me to another person. And then all of a sudden I've got a realtor like dying to help me and, financing options that weren't around at the time. And it was like, oh, wow, this is going to be this can happen. This is easy now. So I just went there and did it.
I know, I love
That's
it.
it.
And there's a saying, if people could have success, say, if you mail this envelope, you'll have success. And that's it. That's that easy. And then you come the next day and they're like, well, I didn't have a stamp. And then I went out with my friends and I thought I'd do it later. And it's like, no, all you had to do was mail that envelope. And how many people won't mail it? But that's not my audience. My audience is doers.
Oh, yeah. They got a roll of stamps ready to go.
Yes, I put extra stamps on it before I mailed it. All right, my friend, tell everyone where to find you, what you have to offer. Let them know.
Okay. So yeah, I would love to come travel and do the shamanic breathwork ceremony anywhere that you are, hold retreats that can involve all of the things that I offer, which is, craniosacral, Reiki, maybe some body work, Kundalini yoga for sure. Anything.
Yeah, and you
And
could
then
plan your own retreat too.
yes, I actually have one that I want to do local in the fall, and then I'm going to take it wherever I want.
Ah,
So I'm excited. After a sadhana I did the other morning, it just like the whole flow came to me, and I, got my chat bot like write this down, put this in my, here's my itinerary for this retreat that I've planned. So yeah, it just creates so much creativity and movement and, pushing forward these practices. So yeah, I also offer, because I'm in upstate, anything hands-on is in upstate, but I do virtual breath work. That could be a thing. Quantum healing, distance Reiki, Reiki attunements, all of those things I offer. But yeah, I am all about getting out of here and traveling and meeting so many people and working with them. I've done breath work at nudist events.
that's a
Which
lot
are
around
fantastic.
here. Yeah.
So yeah, anything goes. Or if you want to come up with your own agenda, and I'll put it together. I would love that. But yes, I'm at
Wonderful.
so it's all the things D, which is DEE.com is my website where you can see all of my offerings and some great pictures from my trips. And what else? My Instagram is all the things DEE. And what else? I think that's it.
I think if they go to your website, which may already have the retreat posted because this is coming out in October. So run to allthingsd.com and check it all out.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
So great.
All right. We waited 4 years for this, but we did it. Yay.
I know. That was so cool.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks to Mike at Uno Rising Media. I hope I'm bumping into you on the road. And everybody have a great day.
Paranormal Karen, she's a spooky kind of queen. Paranormal Karen, she's an angel without wings. Comedian, ghost hunter, conscious exploring. She's a funny gal and a real woo pal. She's Paranormal Karen.